Today on Recap Report, we're talking the Kentucky ban on tattoos on scars. Mike Pence warning the young Christian warriors of their troubles ahead, and a Boulder cop resigns from his post. Get ready, bitches. It's time for Recap Report. Let's say we get on into our first topic of the day.
I'm down.
Kentucky. Beautiful, the rolling hills of Kentucky. the wonderful state of moonshine, less teeth than the average American amount of teeth, and more cousin fucking than you could throw a stick at. All those things are completely not true.
All to a soundtrack of bluegrass music.
I apologize. Unless you live in Henderson. I hate Henderson, Kentucky so much. Sometimes you just got to pick your targets. Anyway.
Our enemies are Henderson and Delphi.
Just my enemies.
Oh, okay.
I won't rope you into my...
Oh, right.
Yeah.
No, I love Henderson.
Fuck Henderson. And Delphi. Fuck you, Delphi. Anyway. Our story has to do with tattoos. It has nothing to do with Henderson or murderers.
Actually, fun fact, my last tattoo I got was in Henderson.
Was it at that tattoo show?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Well, it was after that, but it was,
Like at that building.
Yeah. So this proposal is just kind of arbitrary. It's kind of weird. It's like based on nothing. It's just like some old idiot who happened to be on some kind of health board was like, yeah, I don't like that for some reason, and so they made it a thing. It's really weird.
So Kentucky, they're proposing that you're no longer allowed to get tattoos on top of scars, which seems really random.
Yeah.
Self-scarification, or you burned yourself somehow, say you had breast cancer and you had your breasts removed. It just seems kind of silly, especially like probably the most altruistic way that you can give a tattoo is like those women that had mastectomies and shit, and then they give them fake boobs, and then the dudes like tattooed nipples onto them. There was a story a couple years ago where a guy was doing that for free in like Arizona or something.
I saw that. Yeah.
A much more prosperous state than Kentucky. Ugh. Fucking.
I'm actually from there.
There's some cool shit about there are some cool things about Kentucky.
No, for sure. Yeah.
Like there's a very distinct possibility that they're going to make it completely legal to grow hemp there, and it's going to become a burgeoning market.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But it's like, man, I don't understand this. The Kentucky Cabinet of Health suggests that tattooing on scarred skin is prohibited. But they don't really They don't really give any good reasons.
Right. There are no good reasons for the law, but there are several good reasons to allow tattooing onto scars. Like if people self-harm and then they come out of that part of their life and then they want to get tattoos to cover up that evidence, then they can't in Kentucky under this rule. And that's just kind of hateful. I can't think of a way that's a positive thing for them to just make this dumbass rule.
Yeah, and a lot of the people that get these tattoos, there's like a good reason for it.
Right.
Like the people that either tried to self-harm or people that have scars from surgeries like we talked about earlier. People that, I mean, a tattoo is essentially a scar. So is this banning cover-ups? Which is like a huge chunk of business for tattoo artists.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's like cover-ups is probably like 70% of what they do, I would say. I completely pulled that number out of my asshole.
I doubt it's 70, but I mean,
I'm going to assume I'm wrong.
I mean, it's a little chunk of it for sure.
It's got to be a big chunk.
Like, I mean, I would guess 12 to 20%.
I have one tattoo that I got when I was 16, and I want to get it covered up. That's the only tattoo that I want right now. You want to see it? It's on my balls.
Oh, no.
It's actually a picture of your face.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Preemptive.
I always had this idea when I was like a teenager of getting like a Walmart logo on your ball sack so it looks like it's a Walmart bag.
I saw a picture yesterday of a chick that bleached her hair, and I guess they're supposed to like heat up their hair to make it set or something. And this chick put a fucking Walmart bag on her head to trap the heat in her hair, and it imprinted the ink so it says, like, thanks for shopping at Walmart, you stupid bitch.
What about that thank you?
Yeah, that would be
a shitload of times.
That would be way better.
That would be great.
I saw a T-shirt of that where it was just a white T-shirt. I want that.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
I also saw a dude with a Jimtown T-shirt at
oh, nice,
at Lamasco, and I was like, dude, that's dope.
That's awesome.
I like that shirt. Jimtown is a neighborhood in Evansville for all 6 of you watching right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just doesn't make much sense that they would. I mean, it's just who is it hurting? Like,
right.
There's nobody in government that's like, God damn it, I'm sick of these people getting tattoos on top of their scars. Like, it's just like you're literally just trying to rile people up,
right? And we were
abortions.
We've kind of been looking for an answer for what could possibly make someone just make an arbitrary rule out of nowhere that makes no sense in real life, but only in their head. And our next story is Mike Pence. So. Kind of a nice segue, actually.
Solid segue. I'll take it. So our illustrious Vice President Ghoul from Fallout, he does look like he looks like a ghoul.
I've always said Voldemort with a nose.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I like Fallout. I like my reference better. I like Harry Potter too, but I hate Mike Pence, dude.
Yeah, not a fan.
As Indiana locals, we've had to deal with this fucking piece of shit for way too long.
Yeah.
Like, whenever I found out that Trump selected Mike Pence as his running partner, I was just like, oh, it's over. Cool.
Yeah. Oh, neat. Great. The world's done. Cool.
Yeah, great. We all get to die now.
Great. A draconian piece of shit as vice president. Nice. Cool.
But at least if we're gay, we'll have the opportunity to pray it away.
Yeah, right. Or get it shocked out of us.
Fucking weirdo. But anyway, he gave a speech at a college, and he warned the graduates that they're going to be ridiculed for being Christian. And I got to say, that is the dumbest fucking thing I've heard in a long time.
Right.
I would say this is dumber than Riley Reid's rap.
Close.
This is more retarded than that, for sure.
This is more damaging for society, for sure.
Nobody is making fun of you for being Christian. They're making fun of you for being ridiculous with every other aspect of your life.
Right.
Just because you attach the Christian label to your stupid fucking ideas doesn't mean that we hate Christians.
Right.
I have a lot of Christian friends that I don't give a fuck what you believe in. Just, as long as it's not gay people are bad and a lot of the other weird shit that he believes.
Right, and then it also feeds into the pro-choice, pro-life debate as well, heavily.
I just remembered something.
What?
Did you see that picture of his tweet about horses?
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
That was gold.
Pull it up.
I'm going to try to pull it up.
Pull it up. So, okay, so the idea here is basically that, which I'm sure you know, is that like the war on Christmas and like all these other things, like Christians are always just constantly trying to find ways that they're the victim. And then they also blame feminists for the very same behavior, even though they exhibit that behavior every day. And then if Starbucks doesn't put the right thing on the Christmas cup, or if the store, I don't know, any number of tiny, small little infractions can set off a Christian. So who's really the victim here? Like, who's really the one trying to... Oh, yes. Yes, dude. Okay, here it is.
I love it. This is one of my favorite things ever. Because not only is Mike Pence trying to pray his gay away, he's also trying to pray away his love for animals. And by love, I mean... Mike Pence definitely wants to fuck a horse.
Yeah.
So his tweet is... Outstanding afternoon. I've often said there's nothing better for the inside of a man than the outside of a horse. Mr. Hands. Oh, wait, no, President Reagan. So I don't know if you know who Mr. Hands is. You ever seen that video where the guy gets the horse stick up his butt and then dies?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I've never seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
It's scarring. I'm having
internal bleeding.
I'm having flashbacks.
Kind of like kids in the sandbox, or...
Well, yeah, clearly Mike Pence not only wants dudes' dicks in his butts, he also wants some stallion cock.
Oh, yeah.
Up that presidential butthole. Man, if Trump dies...
Vice presidential.
If
right
Trump dies, that's going to be our president.
Yeah, but I mean, that ain't. I mean, unless he does like some kind of amphetamine overdose, I don't see Trump kicking the bucket before
Could that
2020.
be foreshadowing for our Thursday episode? Some wrestler chick died this morning. I don't know who she is. But anyway,
Oh, really?
Mike Pence, what a fucking weirdo. Like, clearly, nobody is threatening the Christian lifestyle. It's the dominant religion
all
in
these
America.
abortion laws are passing, and that right there is like proof that Christians are getting their way still. Like,
look at this. This is a beautiful sentence spoken by Mike Pence. Boy, did you come out and vote, he said. Boy, oh boy, you voted. You voted.
Trump's rubbing off on him.
Yikes.
Same way the horse did.
Mike fucking Pence, what a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I hate politics, but man, that dude is so easy to make fun of.
He really is, yeah.
He's like constantly making up these crazy ideas. Ugh, fucking Indiana, man.
He's the worst. He does have a rabbit named Marlon Bundo, I think.
Oh boy.
And so there's like this weird thing where like his family is kind of cute, but I know he's like an evil piece of shit. You know?
Didn't
what I mean?
Marlon Brando have sex with Richard Pryor?
I think so. I think there's some kind of thing about
There's
that.
a connection there somewhere with Mike
Yeah.
Pence
And horses
and bunnies.
Trump maybe. Which reminds me, the president and the vice president having a thing like that reminds me of that Carlin joke about how I can't remember which one is which, but he says like Reagan just had surgery on his ass and George H.W. Bush had surgery on his hand. Do you think that's a coincidence? Something like that. So funny. I might have gotten those backwards, but yeah.
I thought you were going to say his mouth.
Oh, no. No, it was real. Like, he really did. One of them got surgery on their hand. The other one got surgery, like prostate or something. And yeah, he made that connection. So good.
Yikes.
I miss you, George. I personally miss you. A lot of people fucking hate you now for some odd reason because they think they're cool, but I miss you. Anyway, this story, actually, the state getting more and more power and being more and more evil and taking our rights away and whatnot really flows right into this next story really well, I feel like.
I mean, Denver/Colorado/Boulder, like, they're in the news a lot.
They really are.
Colorado is a great state. Like, it's one of the few states that I would live in and probably might live in soon-ish, like a year and a half down the road. But it's just like every time they win, they also lose. There's always like something good happens. Then something, it's like the perfect balance of awesome and stupid happens all the time. Like Denver, the first city in America to decriminalize mushrooms. Thumbs up for that. But then I know this is Boulder, but Boulder's supposed to be even more progressive.
Right, it is. Than
Denver. It's like everybody there wears Birkenstocks and drives a Subaru.
Right.
Like, that's the whole idea of Boulder.
It's also like a college town, right?
They have the University of Colorado Boulder.
Yeah. I think that's where this dude was going. I believe, or he is going still. Yeah.
Okay.
This guy's a student.
Why don't you tear into this?
I'm spacing on his name. If you could scroll down.
Oh,
because it's been a day or two since I've read through the entire story.
Zaid Atkinson.
Yeah, Atkinson.
He's a fucking
I'm a journalist,
dude.
so I'm gonna call him by his last name, Atkinson.
He's a handsome guy.
Yeah, he is. He really is a good-looking dude. Atkinson is picking up trash around his apartment building, and this officer, John Smiley, which is the creepiest name and face combo,
also looks like he created Hitler's Youth. Like that dude looks like he invented the Sieg Heil.
He's really white, isn't he?
That young man has used the N-word more than once, for sure.
A bunch of times lately, probably.
There's two types of people that use the N-word, and he's one of them.
He's used it a lot lately, I would imagine, because
I'm sure.
he had to resign as a result of this interaction. Basically, Atkinson is picking up trash around his apartment building with one of those grabber things. I don't know what that's called, and a bucket. And what is that thing called? It's like a pooper scooper thing,
A
but it's
gopher
just
grabber?
for trash. Yeah.
Trash
So
picker.
he's using that, and I mean, we know what those things are. It's like a flimsy piece of metal that's got like a cable in it that, anyway. So,
Magic.
yeah, that you pull, and yeah, so anyway, the cop basically accosts him outside of his apartment building, asks for his ID. It starts out nice enough. And the Atkinson gives him his student ID, and he's like, well, I need an ID with an address on it, which is insane if you actually understand that students don't put their college dorm room address on their license. They would have to renew their license every 4 months. That's stupid.
Also, you don't have to give, like, if you're just standing outside somewhere and an officer asks you for ID, you don't have to show them ID.
Because he has his thing is that he is investigating trespass. He is like trying to make sure this guy's not trespassing. And Atkinson says, I'm a student here. Like, I live here. Like, this is where I live. Now, I think it's reasonable to assume that you wouldn't always have your license on you when you're out in your yard.
Yeah, no.
So he started this off on the wrong foot. It seems really hard to me for him to argue no racial profiling. It's really difficult to argue that. I mean, and Atkinson said during the traffic stop, because after a minute, Atkinson goes back to his job and he continues to pick stuff up. Well, this cop, in a very bad faith move, in my opinion, calls on the radio and he says, he's got a blunt object. I'm going to need more units or whatever the call is. And so, yeah, a ton more cops show up. And then they argue outside of his apartment. And then his fellow students, his roommates on the inside, take a cell phone video from the inside. And they're yelling a bunch of really crazy stuff out at the cops. Eventually, some student representative person from the college shows up, has to take time out of their day to show up and get these 8 cops to leave this kid alone. And, well, so Smiley had to resign. That's he still gets a payout of like $80,000 for his vacation and administrative leave and all that stuff. But he's no longer a cop, at least in Boulder.
You have a dangerous object in your hand and you're failing to put it down.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. He had the object in his hand when the officer walked up to him. So if he was really that, if he felt like he was in danger, why did he walk up to this guy who was committing no other offense, who was obviously not doing anything wrong, and that's why he had to resign. And I saw a bunch of people commenting well, he should have been fired. Even Sean King was like, he should have been fired. And it's like, yeah, in an ideal world, yeah, for sure. But had he been fired, his police union, which police unions are inherently evil, his police union would have had to repeal that or appeal that, and it probably would have gotten overturned, and then he would still be a cop on the Boulder police force, able to harass more students.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sorry. I went on a rant there, but yeah.
That dude is 40.
Yeah, he is. He's been on the force 14 years.
22 years old. What fucking magical hole has this man found?
Yeah, I know, right?
It looks like he found a genie and wished for white supremacy, first of all. Second of all, to never age ever. That dude I've seen 8th graders that look older than him.
Dude, seriously. This likely racist cop is the one who found the Fountain of Youth. Are you fucking kidding?
That's how it would be, too.
Yeah.
If somebody found Pandora's box or, the Magical Genie's bottle or some shit, it would be some piece of shit.
Yeah, right.
I want a monster truck. Let's see, what else? To never have to talk to a black person ever again. I want hell to be real, so gays can go there. But, yeah, I mean... What the fuck? That guy doesn't... I mean, I literally went to high school with a guy who in 9th grade had a beard bigger than mine that would go into grocery stores, and not grocery stores, gas stations, that one.
Yeah, convenience stores.
He would buy us chew and beer, and they wouldn't...
That's a good buddy.
They wouldn't even fucking look at him again, because the dude looked 34.
Yeah.
This guy looks younger than that. Anyway.
Yeah, he does, and it's just a sad story. I don't think that since Atkinson was never arrested, I don't know that he really has a case for suing. Luckily, no one ever pointed a gun at him. They did get their guns out, but they never pointed a gun at him. So he wasn't really. I mean, he was in a dangerous situation. I'm not doubting that. I'm saying that he never had a gun pointed at him. His life was never really in danger of ending within a second during the altercation. But it still is scary to be surrounded outside of your own home. And the whole presumption is that you don't belong there.
Right.
I mean, that's just scary. And that's not the America that I think most of us want, Most of us want a better America than that.
Yeah. I think
it's not very funny. I'm sorry. But.
I'm a fan of justice, and I think that guy losing his job was enough justice. I mean,
I think so too.
If he had done anything, if he had maybe handcuffed him or threw him down on the ground or actually shot him or physically did anything to him at all, I could see damages
for sure. Yeah.
But I mean, the way. All right, first of all, the guy handled it smooth as butter. He comes off looking fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So he's gonna get popularity out of this. He's probably got a fat chunk of Twitter followers out of it, and now he can use his voice more. So he gained a little bit from that. The guy is gonna lose his job, which I think is the appropriate amount. It's what's the thing? The fucking punishment fit the crime.
Right. I think so too. I think it does fit the crime. I think this guy just doesn't need to be a cop anymore. Yeah. What he did was not a criminal offense where you should throw him in prison necessarily. He did kind of embellish the truth a little bit. And he said what he had to say to get more cops out there.
Yeah.
That's what he did. And on purpose, just to try to push this guy up because this guy didn't follow every single direction. That's what he did. And he doesn't need to be a cop. Obviously,
especially in Boulder, Colorado.
Right. Yeah. In a progressive city where it's a college town. You've never seen a student's ID that doesn't match the address where he lives on campus. Are you fucking kidding me? You're a piece of shit if you don't know that. You are only trying to push this person up.
Yeah. So move to Alabama. Roll Tide.
Yeah. Move to Alabama, but make sure you wear condoms while you're there. Because of the abortion ban.
Oh, yeah. Abortions. Boy. What a fun week on Facebook.
Yeah, dude. Sex strike, abortions. This was honestly kind of a silver lining of the week, really, that this cop actually had to resign.
Yeah. What a fucking world we live in.
Yeah. Sorry, that wasn't a very funny story, but... we gotta do some of this for our conscience, you know what I mean?
Just wait till Thursday.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's going to be fun.
For the boys.
Anyway. Signing off. Don't be racist, you faggots.
Right.
Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Recap Report. And if you do feel so inclined, please give this video a like, comment, give us suggestions, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And we'll see you next time.